Ellarigu Namaskara. Thanks for coming back to watch the third and final part of the listening video. Now let me share with you all a few general tips which can actually help you in bettering your listening skills. First is, of course, start listening to different English accents. As we all know that the recordings in the listening test will have speakers with an accent, and if you're someone specifically from India, then the way we speak or pronounce few words are quite different, and we are not exposed to different foreign accents that much unless we actively do so. This might actually pose a problem in understanding what they're saying in the recordings. Now the only way to overcome this problem is to listen to different accents regularly. You can listen to audio clips or audiobooks, watch news, films, series, YouTube videos, whatever best suits you. Initially you might find this to be a bit difficult, but trust me, gradually you will start understanding different accents better. If you want this method to work quickly, then what you can do is, for example, let's say your favorite TV show is Friends. So while watching Friends, you watch the first 2 to 3 minutes of the video without any subtitles and try to understand what they're talking about. If you're unable to follow any of the conversation, pause the video, go back and rewatch the video again with subtitles on. This time around, make sure that whatever you couldn't understand, you read the subtitles and try to understand. Finally, what you will do is turn off the subtitles and rewatch the video again, and this time around make sure that when you are listening to the video, you are even able to understand it without the help of any subtitles. I know it might sound a bit tedious, but trust me, it's a very effective technique. Also think about it this way, when you come here to Canada or any other country for that matter, you will have to converse with people, right? And these people would have come from so many different places and they would have their own accents. So by doing this technique, it will only help you to adapt better in the future. Next tip is, if you observe carefully, the speakers will stress the keywords. So if you're careful enough to note this, it makes it easier for you to find the answers. Practice some common names. Mostly this will come in handy in your section 1. Sometimes if they are tricky, they spell out the names, sometimes they don't. So if you know them prior, then it will be easier for you. Next is listening for numbers. I would like to share with you all a funny story. Now whenever I used to take up my listening practice test, I would most of the times lose points in one of the sections. Do you guys want to take a guess which section it was? No, it was not part 3 or part 4, which are considered to be the difficult sections. I would always lose points in the most easiest sections of all, which was section 1 or part 1. You know what the irony is? I used to score out of out in part 4 all the times, maybe because I was too conscious about this part. But the reason why I used to lose points in my part 1 is because of numbers. No matter how many practice tests I did, I would always screw up whenever they used to say some numbers. And in fact, I did the same even on the day of my actual IELTS test. If you are someone who is facing the same issues like me, then there are few things which you can do to overcome this. Time. There are many different ways to tell time. Usually we tend to say 5:45, but the same thing could be said as 5:45. I have mentioned a couple of examples here, so practice and get used to this way of telling time. Date. You can either say 2020 or 2020. Price. This could be said as $13.99 or $13.99. Decimals. This can be said as 3.75 or 3 3/4 or 3 3/4. Telephone number. If the number has this in it, it could be said as 505 or 505. Also, this can be 55 or 55, and this can be 555 or 555. One useful tip to differentiate between numbers is to hear how they are pronouncing it. Usually they use numbers like 15 and 50, 16 and 60, 17 and 70, etc. So if you observe, when they say 15, they will stress on teen part, and when they say 50, T is said very quickly. So using this approach, you can differentiate between these numbers. Listen for plurals. This is one of the common way of losing points because the S sound is not always clear due to contractions that they use. Even if you are unable to hear it correctly, grammar can help you decide whether the word should be used in its singular form or plural form. For example, if the article a is present, then it will be singular and not plural. You can also learn uncountable nouns as they don't use S. So my next tip would be actually to better your grammar game. I've already spoken in detail in the writing video the importance of grammar, how it can help you to better your score in all the 4 test components of IELTS, and some important grammar concepts which you should get better at. So invest some time in bettering your grammar skills. The next tip is for the label diagram or map kind of question. First thing is to know the commonly used direction words and practice following them. And the second important thing is to listen carefully to the speaker to know where the starting point is. Trust me, if you goof up locating the starting point, then the complete set of questions that follows will go for a toss and you will end up losing a couple of scores in one go. This is because unlike other questions, label map question is something where the next question has a link to the previous one. So if you don't know where the starting point is, then trust me, you will literally end up feeling like you're lost in a maze while the speaker is trying to give you directions. So know the starting point, know the different direction words and know how to follow the direction accordingly. The next tip or tips is specifically for MCQs, that is multiple choice questions. You remember while talking about the listening test format and the question and answer order, I had mentioned that there's a catch. So what's the catch? The catch is, although the order in which the answer comes in the recording is in the order of the questions, in case of MCQs, the order in which the different options are discussed is not always the way it's present on the question paper. Speaker can first talk about option C and then A, followed by D and finally A. So be aware of this. Also, under the same context, I would like to mention that while figuring out answers for MCQs, do not jump the gun. For example, if I am the speaker and I am talking about my favorite pets, and the question is, which is my current favorite pet? And the MCQ has the choice of dog, cat, bird and rabbit. If I say rabbits used to be my favorite pets when I was a kid, then don't jump to the conclusion that rabbit is the answer. Continue listening because next I might say my family's favorite pet is dog or birds, which again is not the correct answer. And finally I would say, however, personally I love to have cats as my pets now. So you see, there are two things to keep in mind here. A, the speaker most probably will discuss all the different options present. B, because of this, you need to listen to the entire talk to find out the correct answer without jumping into conclusion. The next tip about the multiple choice questions is specifically for the paper-based test. When you get to know that one or a couple of options are incorrect, strike them out immediately, which while decreasing the number of choices will also help you in finding the correct answer. Sadly, you will not be able to do this in a computer-based test and you should rely on your memory to remember the irrelevant options. So put in some extra practice to do this. The next tip is again specifically for the paper-based test about transferring your answers from question paper to the answer sheet in the last 10 minutes. Don't be in a hurry. As I said previously, 10 minutes is more than enough to do this. So stay calm and transfer your answers correctly. You remember I had told you not to leave any questions unanswered. Now of course one of the reason for this is for you to take that chance and see whether you will get an additional point. But there's one more reason why you need to do this. Let's say you were unable to hear the correct answer for question number 15. So you try to take a guess but still you are unable to come up with any answer and you will decide that let me just leave it and not write anything at all. So while transferring the answers, when you are in a hurry, if you are not careful enough, then while writing the answer you might forget to leave answer for the 15th question blank and write the 16th answer. Instead, you might write the answer for 16th question in the place of 15th question's answer. If you don't realize this in time and continue writing all the answers, then there couldn't be any bigger blunder than this. So please be mindful of this. The final tip is same as the tip I gave in reading test. Don't forget to analyze your mistakes. After every practice test, please take some time out to analyze and fix your mistakes. Trust me, it will significantly increase your scores. So these are the methods and strategies that I used in my IELTS listening test preparation. Most of you who have watched my previous IELTS video would be aware that I had took paper-based test. Personally speaking, I prefer paper-based test over computer-based test in case of listening test. You can watch my pros and cons video about the paper-based test and computer-based test to better understand their similarities and differences, and then make a choice with which test you want to go ahead. Speaking of the result, I did manage to get a score of 8.5, which means I got a total of 37 or 38 correct answers out of 40 questions. As I've emphasized in my reading video already, irrespective of whether you're a primary or secondary applicant, try to get a perfect 9 in listening test and don't settle for just an 8, because every score you get above that golden score of 8777 will only add to your final CRS score. I hope that this video has helped you to understand the listening test in a better way, and the tips which I shared will help to improve your scores. Let me know in the comment section below. You know, when I started writing content for this video, I initially thought that it's listening video, there's not much that I want to speak about here, and maybe I'll cover talking about everything in a single video. But as I started writing and progressing through the video, I realized that there's so much information that I wanted to share with you guys. Because if you are taking IELTS for Canadian PR, we all know how you have to get a minimum score of 8, right? So I have tried to include all the information that I could gather, and it's been a lot of hard work. So please don't forget to like and share the video. Also, please do subscribe and show your love and support to the channel. I guess that's it for the day, guys, and I hope to see you all soon in my next video. I wish for all of us to be blessed with abundant love, peace and happiness. Take care, and do remember, life's all about the little things.